Welcome to this World of Tanks subscriber replay. My name, as always, is Maxwell, and today's replay comes to us from the user Blackshot01. That is Blackshot01, and he's driving the T29 on an encounter battle on Himmelsdorf, and the T29 is the American Tier 7 heavy tank. Now, any of you who have followed me for a while will know that the T29 is one of my favourite heavy tanks, and definitely my favourite Tier 7. Probably my favourite Tier 7 of any tank, whether it be medium, light, heavy, or anything, because the T29, when used properly, is an absolute beast. It can be used very effectively in attack, defence. It's got good manoeuvrability, good top speed, it gets a very good weapon, and the armour on its turret is fantastic. Oh, unlucky not able to get a shot on that Stug 3 there, just moving out of range. I wonder if he realised how close he was to taking a giant shell up his ass. Unfortunately, the Panzer 3-4 takes said shell like a champ and carries on driving. So just go and have a scan across here, see if we can lay some damage on somebody, but looks like the M18 Hellcat comes to distract him. Unfortunately, he's looking out over the battle and takes a big hit, which takes him out. Now, the T20 medium tank is the American Tier 7 medium, so it's a fairly good tank as well, so got to be careful of that one. The M18 ally there coming in and blocking this guy's shot, so just going to try and move around him and use the slope of the terrain as cover. So just going to drop down now and present just his turret armour so that the KV-1 has no other choice but to shoot at the M18 or get what is pretty much a guaranteed ricochet on the turret armour of the T29, which he does, and then gets taken out in short order. So the T20 laying some damage on this M18, who is continuing to make a nuisance of himself, blocking in the T29. So just going to advance slowly around the corner now and get a good hit on that T20. The other good thing about the T29, people call it a weakness, the fact that it's got such long tracks. To be honest, I call it a bit of a strength, because a lot of the time you take a shot on those tracks and you get a 0 damage critical. So it takes a... so basically your tracks absorb all of the damage from the incoming shot. Probably not wanting to waste a shell on this Panzer 38, as there are much better targets which are probably capable of actually hurting him, so probably just going to try and either ram him or really just ignore him, as the enemy has 2 T29s on the hill here. Luckily though, it looks like neither of them are fully upgraded, as they only have 1150 hit points each, and it looks like the M18 has finished off the Panzer 38 there. So this T29's, the enemy T29 is not having any luck managing to bounce multiple shots on the front armour and the turret of this T29. As I said, you can tell by the amount of hit points and the fact that their turrets don't have the little ears on them that it's not a fully upgraded T29, so it's either going to have the stock gun or the next level gun. Luckily, he looks like he knows where to shoot and is getting some good penetrating hits on the side armour. So just going to angle himself there. It looks like he switched to high explosive rounds, because that shell did practically no damage. So just going to get him on the front armour on that little bulb or on the lights there, and that's pretty much a guaranteed penetrating hit. Now, it's a right shame when that happens, when the enemy is down to something like 31 hit points, because then you've got to waste a whole shell taking out just that small amount of hit points. So it was a pretty good battle for the hill. It was himself and this M18 Hellcat were able to mop up everything that was left, although it looks like the M18 got himself finished off by those 2 T29s. So it's very even at the moment, 2 for 2, although the enemy only has the VK 3601 and the SU5. And they have the M10 Wolverine and this T29 on half hit points. So just going to fall back, get down off the hill and try and support their tank destroyer in either capping the base or finishing off the enemy. Unfortunately, their tank destroyer gets finished off, so there's just a 3601 and this SU5 left. So just going to speed this up until something happens. So just coming across the church now, and probably going to make his way to the train tracks. That 3601 probably should have repositioned himself if he's smart. If he hasn't repositioned himself, then our man here is going to know exactly where he is and is going to be able to fall on top of him and take him out no problem. But it looks like he's probably the one doing the capping, so he's almost certainly repositioned himself, because you can't cap unless you're in the circle. So yes, there he is. He's got 482 hit points left, which is probably going to work out to be 2 shots from this cannon. So even in a full-on engage, if they both score a penetrating hit, he's got way more hit points and survivability. Luckily the track soaked all of the damage from the first shot. No idea what the guy's doing, turning into a reverse position there. Don't know what that was, sort of presenting him with his rear armour. No idea what the thinking behind that was. So just waiting to see if the SU-5 decides to poke his head out again while his track is being repaired. Unfortunately, he's probably not going to make that mistake and is going to go ahead and hide. Luckily, with this little building in the centre of the cap zone, he's able just to position himself vertically behind this, and then the SU-5 is going to have to come out of his hiding place if he wants to try and get a hit on him and stop this base capture. So just going to speed up until that happens. Or is the SU-5 going to take the coward's way out and just hide? No, he's not. He's going to charge up to try and hit him and is going to get taken out for his trouble. So thanks very much to Blackshot01 for that replay. It was absolutely brilliant. A good example of how the T29 can be used to push down and hold a flank against overwhelming odds. So again, thanks very much for that clip, and thanks very much to you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.